Buff Nation, what's going on? We have a very interesting line of items to discuss today as we build up for what is not a midnight kickoff. I think it's noon Eastern against West Virginia. That's going to be fantastic. We're going to break down the news with the coaching staff. We'll talk all about that. We'll talk all about what's going on with recruiting. You know, Russ had a fantastic interview with Buffs legend Matt McChesney. That was awesome. So go check that out. We'll talk about that. Thoughts on the interview, and then of course get into our preview. Keys for the game is Julian Lewis's first start. Like, this is so exciting. So y'all be sure smash that like, subscribe, hype, and then get in the comments. Let's get to it. But Russ, thank you for my long-winded your patience on my long-winded intro. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing good, man. A little tired. Yeah, looking forward to an early game this weekend, and getting to cover it with everybody and getting to talk about Julian Lewis, and get to see what he does. This is what we've been waiting for a very long time, and we've seen flashes. But I also want to make sure that we're managing expectations. He is an 18-year-old freshman getting his first start in Morgantown, West Virginia. Not going to be easy. So we've got to hold our expectations correctly for what we're about to see this weekend. Okay, so I'm excited for it. I'm excited to chat about this. And, I mean, things are starting to change. The winds of change are hitting CU, Dave. And I got a little optimism heading to the future.
Dude, I do too, man. I guess before we get into the demotion of Pat Shurmur, and we can talk, I guess, a little bit about it, man. What were your thoughts on Arizona? And specifically, got to hear your thoughts on how you thought Julian played, finally getting in there. Finally.
Yeah, I mean, what can we say about that game, Dave? I mean, and now finding out that, Brett Bartolone was the play caller on Saturday, and things didn't look that improved. I do think there's an issue that we've talked about all year, which is, this scheme was never for Caden Salter. Should have never gotten Caden Salter. And I know I've heard it from so many people. Julian Lewis played third stringers and it was the end of the game and blah, 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 and all this stuff. But, he looked good. He looked on time. He's a pocket passer. He looks more comfortable in this offense than Caden Salter did. That's the key. And I'm interested to see what a whole week of Brett Bartolone, Julian Lewis, just working together, heads together, scheming together, because you got to remember that Bartolone was scheming with Caden Salter last week. So you have to wonder, and again, Dave, because again, we don't know the answer to this. We're just assuming. But it just seems like Caden Salter's grasp of the offense and being able to read things and stuff is just not there. So I have to imagine that you can't do too much difference in a week from Brett Bartolone to from Shurmur to Brett Bartolone to having Caden Salter play. I would assume that maybe Julian Lewis has a little bit better of a chance to really do that. And so I hope that we see some things good this weekend.
Yes. Yeah. It's tough to evaluate Brett Bartolone with last week's game, just because, again, you're game planning with Caden Salter. And again, I don't know why the hell he even started this past week. It made no sense. And I just got to say it, man. I feel like this staff, and particularly Prime, who I feel like is in these positions to make these decisions, I don't know if it's overthinking or not thinking hard enough about it. I'm going to say he's overthinking the situation because I think he's given a lot of thought to everything that he does. You make things so much harder for yourself when you try and play cute like this. And you saw Ryan Staub go in there, throw 2 picks, and I'm glad that he finally got in. Now, I know that this create some issues with, does he play the last week or not? At one game of him playing at this point or not playing is, I think, going to have a minimal effect, if at all, on next year, right? Compared to other things that we can control. I was so impressed with Julian Lewis's poise getting in that game,
Yeah.
his mobility in the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield. When he faced pressure, he did not take any sacks. He's throwing the ball away, and the operation again just looked so much cleaner with him at the helm than what we've seen throughout the majority of the season with Caden Salter. So I really loved. I mean, that touchdown to Omarion Miller was fantastic. The deep ball placement, yeah. All you wanted to see was flashes. And that's kind of what you want to see throughout this. Personally, Russ, I know that we probably disagree on this. I think that he should take his red shirt this year. I think he should do it. But whether it's this game and next game or, 2 more games after this week, all you want to see is him just show the flashes of greatness, man. And I was very, very pleased, and I'm pumped to see what he can do with a full week of practice with him as the starter, with Bartoloni, scheming and game planning for having him behind center. And it only took until week 9. Where are we at right now? Week 10?
Game 10? Week 9. This will be game 10.
Yeah, without a quarterback controversy. Let's go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be very interested to see what happens. I do think I've been saying it all week as we go into this game. Like, just look for the little things with Julian Lewis, okay? Now, while I would love to finish off this season with 3 wins in a row and somehow squeak into a bye game saying that Julian Lewis has arrived, I mean, I'm telling you, by the way, everybody, if that were to happen, prepare yourself because things are about to get crazy, okay? Because I guarantee you that there are a lot of recruits watching what is about to happen at CU trying to figure out if they want to come here or not. And, if we get to that 3 wins in a row, yeah, waste the red shirt at that point, fine. If he's looking that good, screw it. Let's go. Let's ride. Let's figure it out, whatever that may be. So I do think it's going to be interesting to see, but it's also not the end of the world if they don't pull off these victories and they're able to see, I want to see what we saw Saturday. I want to see Julian Lewis start to get a hold of the offense. I want to start seeing Julian Lewis, get better and better with each game, with each snap, with each moment. If he throws a pick, which I'm sure he will because he is a true freshman, it will probably happen at some point. He wasn't perfect in high school, so it's probably going to happen at some point. How does he respond to that? What does he do on the sideline? Does he, sulk on the sideline, or does he get the receivers around him and the coaches and start saying, okay, this is what we're doing. This is what I did. Hey, my bad. I'm going to hit you there. I'm sorry. Things like that. Like, I just want to see him lead like he did on Saturday because the clips we got to see of him on the sideline just made me again pumped up, excited. You could see how excited the guys got, David, once he got into that ball game. Like, that's a crazy thing to me. Of again showing out that there is no true leadership on this team, and Julian Lewis may have to be a leader at 18 years old. Kind of crazy, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens this week.
Yeah, man, I can't wait, and I love those clips. That Will-Off had of just seeing him vocal with the rest of the guys on the team. That was awesome to see. Again, it's kind of pathetic that I feel like our second and third string quarterbacks have been a little bit more vocal and provided more leadership than what we've gotten. And today in the coaches show, I think Prime was about as blunt as you're going to get with him when it came to essentially talking about Caden Salter, Jaheim Otis, and a handful of these transfers, just saying, we got to admit, man, we missed on these guys and we did not evaluate their character correctly. That's essentially what he was saying, man. That was nice to see after I did not like him not making anybody else available to the media after the game and as well. But I understand why he did it, as well as on Tuesday, especially with them wanting to, I guess, keep this secret of Brett Bartoloni in house for only a number of days. But Yeah, what have you made of Coach Prime? What do you make of Pat Shurmur kind of being fired, but he's also still there? I posted a video on this earlier today, so I want to hear your thoughts first before I just regurgitate what I said.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell. I think David. I think he's at his wit's end at this point. I really enjoyed my conversation with Matt McChesney today, and something that he brought up and agreed with. And Matt has still communication with Prime, so I don't know what's going on with that. But the fact is that Matt even said this staff failed Prime this year. Like, I know people want to blame Coach Prime, but when Prime was out sick, and out of the building, he was hoping to lean on his coaches to be able to get this team whipped in shape, to get the culture going, to manage that stuff, to do all that stuff. And, to hear a guy like Matt even say, like, yeah, this staff failed him in that. I think he thought that they were going to be a lot better organized, and you can just tell on how the team is going. So it's not surprising that Shurmur got finally demoted. It's surprising it took so long. It's surprising that, but you can tell, Dave. I mean, Coach Prime is pissed at everything. Well off video today. I love what Bucky did on the title, which was, had it with the players and then in big capital letters says coaches. Like that just the title. I mean, he didn't really even show anything in the video that showed that like the coaches were in a bad position necessarily. That was a call out right there. And I think a way of telling the fans, hey, we understand this. We're not going to air our dirty laundry out publicly and say like this person, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was their way of saying between that and the coaches show today, we're about to see some major changes, Dave. We're about to see some major changes, I think, in the staff and the roster heading into this offseason on what's about to happen. I think this is kind of it's going to be a big time play for Coach Prime to show what he's truly made of as a coach, what he's truly made of. And hopefully he gets a whole offseason and he doesn't have health issues again, so that he can actually get a full offseason without his kids there, without everything, to really coach, to really push this team into direction. Because that's the one thing. We can give that as the one excuse for this past year where I can give him a pass 100% and say, okay, I'm not because I know a lot of people are saying Prime needs to be fired, or Prime is responsible, or Prime is this or that. The answer is no to all that, okay? I'm going to give that chance because of what happened. I'm interested to see what happens. And I do feel like the anger is boiling over for him right now.
I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so. And I really like the comments that we saw from him today. Personally, I understand the demotion of Pat Shurmur. Obviously, I'm for that. Bartoloni, I think he has, maybe a 1% chance of being this offensive coordinator or being the offensive coordinator for this team next year. But you just needed somebody that wasn't Pat Shurmur to call the plays. And you saw us put up 10 more points than we put up the week prior, right? Or something like that. So we'll get through it. But Pat Shurmur, he's done after 3 games. Why don't you send the message that mediocrity or poor performance from the staff will not be tolerated and just tell him to get his ass home, dude? Instead, he's just still collecting a paycheck, doing less work, all while getting paid. I know that this is like not, what is it? Splitting hairs. That's what I'm.
Yeah.
This is splitting hairs. I think it's very clear that Coach Prime is going to change quite a bit of the staff. But also to kind of segue into your conversation with Matt a little bit, and your mom's favorite talked about this. I didn't have it starred here, but yeah, I think when you look at this recruiting staff while Coach Prime was gone, what the hell were they doing? Box, Corey Phillips, and again, I think some of the assistant coaches definitely deserve to bear responsibility for this as well. But what the hell were they doing for like 4 or 5 months with him out? They absolutely failed Coach Prime. And yeah, it's partially, I think Coach Prime's to blame for, again, you can't foresee this all the time, but you hire these guys in the first place, but he's going to have the opportunity to right this wrong, as I think most coaches should have the opportunity to do. And then you make decisions past that, but he's going to get the opportunity to do it. Anyways, Russ, what do you think about this recruiting staff and all this stuff over the last few months?
Yeah, that was a big part of the conversation with Matt. And I know Matt's not everybody's cup of tea. I know there's going to be people in the chat saying, the usual stuff. I mean, I literally was getting messages on Twitter after that interview of just how a terrible person I am for even platforming Matt. And I don't get that, because like he made the comment, like him and Coach Prime are on good terms. Coach Prime can take criticism, okay, is what he said. They talk about it. They're real with each other. Coach Prime's old school. He can take it. And for anybody that thought, because again, that was a lot of the comments I got was like, Matt's holding a vendetta against Coach Prime and he's steering recruits away from him. I mean, Matt was blunt in that conversation with me where he said the reason that Brett Collegier did not end up at Colorado was money. It was money. He got a much bigger offer from other schools, a much bigger offer. Said Colorado didn't even come close. And so I don't know what you want. Like, it's a kid. Yeah, I get you shouldn't be just chasing the bag, but you've also got to put yourself in a good position. And if you're getting paid that much, you're probably going to put yourself in a pretty darn good position where you're going to play, because the team's not going to just want you to sit on the bench collecting, $1 million. So my frustration is what we're missing out on. And Matt brought up a good point, and I kind of connected the dots too during our conversation. And this is where I'm at. Coach Prime brings the ability, Dave, to go after the white whales in the country. Your Travis Hunter, your Cormani McLean, your Jordan Seaton, your Juju Lewis, right? He has that power. Mm-hmm. Add that to a stable of kids that he could bring in from Colorado to be those depth pieces, to be those trench pieces, to be like the nastiness that you need in those areas, because that's what Colorado was built on. Colorado over the last 2 decades. Yeah. Did we win a national championship? No, because guess what? We didn't have the playmakers. We didn't have those 5 stars available to take us to the next level, but we hung around enough because of the grit and toughness that we got from Colorado kids that were on the rosters during those years. Combine the two, mesh the two styles together, and you can put together a powerhouse team that can compete for a Big 12 championship every year and potentially compete on a large level. Like, that's how you do it. That's what we've been missing the last 20 years. That's why Prime is here, and that's why it should be exciting and why everyone was excited, because Coach Prime does attract those players. But you also need to get the nitty-gritty trench players out of the high school system, and you've got them in your backyard. It doesn't take much time. It doesn't take much resources. Like he literally said, and he mentioned it, without directly mentioning the names, but he said a few of the guys just wanted the team to show up at their high schools down the road. Like Coach Prime and staff are not even showing up to the Colorado high schools to watch games, to check out these kids in their own backyard, And that should be a red flag to you, because that's easy pickings. That's literally, just cherry picking some easy players to add to this roster. And Dave, we're 10 plus scholarships under our max scholarships.
I know, dude.
And growing.
I know.
And McChesney made a good point. He's like, if you don't use those scholarships, that's resources that the school can technically divert to your program to increase NIL, which he thinks is what Coach Prime is doing with those spots and why we're not filling them. He's increasing the NIL budget even more to buy players like Julian Lewis.
Because out-of-state tuition
Jordan
is quite
Seaton.
pricey, baby.
It is. But also to give those players the money that they're looking for. Yeah. Julian Lewis is getting $1 million plus to be here at CU. Okay, to think that they're not getting any money is, again, false. They're not Travis and they're not Shador. Okay, but we need to use our money appropriately. We paid $800 plus K for Caden Salter, is what we talked about. We paid around the same for Jaheim Otis. Like, Dave, though, that money could have been used for trench players from the high school ranks that yeah, while this year we may not have been amazing, could have developed into something amazing, and at least better than what we wasted it on. So that our whole recruiting formula needs to change. Now, I'm not saying we need to completely turn away from the transfer portal. You're absolutely going to need transfer portals. We talked about it. Problem is you picked the wrong guys. And we need to stop taking the scraps from the SEC and the Big Ten. Okay? Because I hate when people in my chat say, oh, all CU does is they get G4 and FCS kids to transfer in. Those are how you build a good program and are able to turn things around, because those guys can be hungry. They're ready to move up. The people who are leaving Big 12 and SEC schools, Dave, 9 times out of 10, it's because they can't cut it. Like, that's what's going on. And people are fine with that. And they get the high rankings because, again, Jaheim Otis came from Bama. He's a big, tall, big guy. Why is he not succeeding at Bama then? Why is he not staying there and succeeding? He's leaving because he got chased off because of what we found out. He is not a great player. He is not a tough player. He is not a player that plays hard enough. Like, that's the problem. We need to completely change the way we recruit, Dave. And if that means changing the recruiting staff altogether, that may be what's necessary. We need to get some people in here who are going to pay attention to Colorado, but then are also going to make the smart moves. We've talked about it multiple times the past couple of weeks, Dave. I mean, Indiana is the gold standard when it comes to the transfer portal. They're not getting Big Ten and SEC guys. They're getting FCS and G4 guys that are ready to step up and make an impact at the next level.
Man, wonderfully said, man. Wonderfully said. And yeah, the interview with Matt McChesney, y'all go watch it on Buffs News Weekly. It was fantastic. And yeah, what you and Matt talked about, and what Matt talked about is, again, I rarely come on here and talk about like what I have heard from people and things like that, but it confirms the things that I've heard about this recruiting staff. And honestly, to me, it comes off as lazy, arrogant.
That's the
ignorant.
Key. Arrogant is the one. Arrogant is the one that I agree with.
And the fact, like, Prime is trying to establish what they've talked about as a family type atmosphere. Talked about this a little bit, man. I think Prime has hired guys on this staff, and hopefully now he has kind of seen the light with some of these guys, that if you're trying to build a family, you go visit your family. You go and make an effort to recruit, to show love, right? And I'm not even asking us, the staff, to go all around the country all the time. I'm asking them to drive 10 minutes down the road to freaking...
Not even 10 minutes. Not even 10. Fairview High School. You have a 4-star safety that's about to go to USC. You've got Deacon Schmidt at Windsor, literally a 20-minute drive from campus. Like, that's the crazy part. And somebody in here, by the way, Kevin, as always, like, oh, Julian Sain and Caleb Downs, SEC trash, huh? Like, I said 9 out of 10 SEC and Big Ten transfers are not going to pan out. Because the big ones, they're going to pan out and they're going to get paid. And we know who they are. The rest of them, though, if they're not playing already, like, of course Caleb Downs we knew he was already a great player. He wasn't transferring because he was bad. Jaheim Otis transferred because he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Yeah, we need guys who want to get to the next level. And a lot of our great players have been guys that have performed very well at the G5. Even I know Nikhil Green started at Michigan, but again, he went was it out to Charlotte?
Yep, Charlotte
performed really, really well.
This year.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm saying this year, Sean Myers. Everybody's loved what Sean Myers has done. Like, that's another good one.
I had hope for Reggie Hughes, but it just didn't work out. But I wouldn't mind taking more chances on guys that for the previous season were all conference in their G5 conference.
And I guarantee that those guys are not going to be as expensive. Use that money on the high schoolers then, on some of them, on the bigger guys, on the guys that it's going to be obvious that they're going to compete and be good. Yeah. Like, I'm telling you, you watch, Brett Kulijay will be an All-American offensive lineman. I guarantee it. There's other guys we still have time to get in Colorado that we absolutely need to be on. Jackson Roper, Reese Russell. Those are all guys that if we went in hard right now, we would probably be guaranteed to get them. And yeah, we're going to have to pay some money for it. I don't think we're going to have to pay as high as we might. I think you might be able to get a little bit of a discount. Maybe not a lot, but why aren't we going after those guys? Literally.
It is so ignorant. And I think, again, it's one thing for us. Just some dudes with a mic on some YouTube, right? Getting excited about certain guys rated, stars and all that stuff. Like, I think it's fun. I think it's fun to talk about.
Yes.
I think it's an issue when I think at this point it is very clear that there are many people involved in the recruiting at CU that are not making their own evaluations, or if they claim they are, they're doing it with a broken method. And yeah, go ahead, Russ.
It kills me because Matt literally, and to go back to your point where you were like the 3 points of what we're finding out about this recruiting staff, the arrogance part, I think that's what it is, Dave. Because Matt is serving these players up on a silver platter to his alma mater first and foremost. He talked about that. So to anybody that thinks that he's sabotaging the program and trying to steer these kids away from Colorado, no. He's giving Colorado first dibs on all of these guys. Every time he has a kid come through there, they're freshmen, their sophomore year of high school, before they really start to get recruited, he's saying to Coach Prime and reaching out to that staff and saying, you need to put eyes on this. You need to come see this kid right now. You need to talk to him and offer him. And trust me, you will not regret it. And yet the team refuses to do that. And I think it has to be arrogance at this point, because it's like, well, I don't want Matt to be right. Yeah. I don't want Matt to do my job for me. So I'm just going to ignore what you're doing and the players you're doing. Because for anybody that wants to say like Colorado can't get guys, or all this stuff, or in-state guys are not any better than the guys that they're going after, just look at where those guys go on to play and how well they do it. Okay, these guys are all going to SEC schools. They may be 3 stars when it comes to recruiting, but if anything, guys, I will tell you this: the star system in recruiting is the stupidest thing that's ever existed. If you truly look into it, it is more about who paid for exposure, who went to certain tournaments, okay, who went to certain places. It's all about that. There are thousands of kids that get missed every year, okay? And so for anybody that wants to look at the stars and say, oh, Colorado just has 2 and 3 stars, why would you want to get those? That's not the point. They all go on to great careers in college and the NFL. And the NFL. We have so many Colorado kids that are in the NFL at lineman positions. It's insane if you really look at it. And yet 90% of them did not go to CU.
Yeah, I know. This is funny, Russ. I had somebody, I guess it was last night, like message me, and they're like, Dave, like, what's going on with this recruiting, man? And, I told him, man, like, I think that now, where did I lose this? I lost Kevin's comment here. Yeah, okay. It's lazy, arrogant coaching / recruiting. That's how I'm going to, and it starts at the top. And I think that this is something that Prime needs to own as well, because it's one thing, okay, for Prime to say, like, I just don't want to travel, okay? It's another thing to then hire an entire staff of like 50, 60 people where only a few guys, maybe you can count on one hand or so, are actually going out there and recruiting. It's malpractice. None of these people are Deion Sanders except him. And you can be, if Deion Sanders wants to be the closer, once they come on campus, that's how it is. That's fine. But it is lazy when you have like a team of 5, 6, maybe 7 different people on Twitter that are constantly putting the recruiting staff in touch with recruits and transfers. This team looks like it was put together by 5 people on Twitter this this season, man. And I think that this is a learning for Coach Prime, because you might be able to sit back at the FCS level and have everybody come to you, but it's just not sustainable to have success year after year. Just saying, you know what, even if you're 5 minutes down the road, you got to come to me. And everybody that's part of the organization, you got to come to me. That's not family. That doesn't show that you're actually wanted there. I mean, let's talk about relationship and friendships and family. Like, if there's no reciprocation there with any of these people, do you ever reach out to them or go spend time with them if there's no reciprocation there? So I think it's been lazy. I think it's been arrogant. And I'm glad that it's finally starting to get some of the people are starting to talk about it more. And my hope is that Prime sees that there needs to be a change, because if you can just set the goal, like I've said, let's just try and get the top 10 guys in Colorado every single year and then build the rest of the national recruitment around that. I think you're going to be in great position to compete in the Big 12 year after year. Like, this is not rocket science, but they see Prime spending his time the way that he does. And for some reason, they think that they can do that too. It needs to change. It absolutely needs to change, dude. We can't have a team run by Twitter.
Absolutely. I mean, it does. It's as plain as simple as that. And the bad part is, I mean, Matt said it. I mean, he talks to Prime regularly, so obviously he's in his ear. I don't know what they talk about. I don't know what he said in response to this. I don't know if maybe he's just yeah, you're right, but then does nothing. Which again, it sounds like that may be happening. I'm hearing multiple things constantly of these people who are trying to help CU, their staff, and everything because they care about this program. And the teams are saying, okay, great, thank you for that information. And then it's like, throw it out. You know, it's that arrogance of like, I don't want you to be right because this is me. I want to be the guy that's right. I don't want people to find out that this person helped me or this person did that or this happened. Like, that's what it comes across as. And so that is where, you know, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. And to the people in the chat, just constantly hammering home, like, well, why didn't Colorado get the Colorado kids before Prime got here? They actually did get a lot of the Colorado kids before Prime got here. They got more of them than they did now. And then the really good ones, they didn't go because Colorado was not the best opportunity at the time for them. It was not. You know, Matt said it himself. You know, they were better off going to other programs. Now he sees what Colorado can be and that it can get you endorsements. It can get you NFL looks. I mean, Seton is still going to be a first-round pick. It didn't hurt him coming to Colorado like everyone said it would. Even with us losing, he's still being talked about as a top 5 pick when he goes out. So that's stupid. Then you have like people saying, ask Matt the last time he talked to Prime. Well, he was literally in Prime's office this past weekend because he took up 10 kids to visit the school still. So for somebody who's supposedly steering kids away from Colorado now, he still took those kids there. But guess what? All those kids that went up there did not get an offer, do not have an offer at CU. And guess where they're all going this weekend? They're all going to Alabama, Dave. They're all going to Alabama. And Alabama has said that they are prepared to offer half those kids next weekend. So what do you want? Everyone wants to say that, like, you know, his kids aren't worth a thing. But I get it. Yeah. You know, no matter what he says, again, I've said this so many times. I may not agree with Matt and some of his opinions. I may not agree with Matt, the person, but I respect Matt, the football coach, the football trainer, and the ex-NFL college player that he was, no matter what people say. That's still a fact.
Yeah. Dude, you do you, man. I'll get to a couple of these supers being thrown your way. We'll get to some more. E Todd with the $10 saying, right on, Russ. Glad I caught the show tonight. Been a while.
Appreciate E Todd.
Thank you, E Todd. And then Jordan Williams said, Prime said stars don't twinkle, but staff goes after stars. Indiana doesn't recruit stars because stars don't build culture. Prime knows, but staff and again, this year, I don't know if we'll ever know the full involvement of just really what happened this offseason. But I think it's very clear. Not only does the staff need to change, the strategy needs to change, but I think also you need to see Prime change how he operates recruiting. Because, dude, we're a one-school state right now, okay? All we have to compete against is CSU and Air Force for the entire state. This isn't Texas. This isn't Alabama having to deal with Auburn. This isn't, Georgia and Georgia Tech, or South Carolina, Clemson, the state of Florida, the state of California. None of that. Like this, if you just put in a little bit of effort, and again, maybe you make Colorado the only state where you travel in person to fairly often. We're talking about maybe you're driving, or an hour and a half, 2 hours tops to go visit a player. I mean, this is, at this point, dude, it's lazy and it's arrogant. And if they want to get better results in high school recruiting year after year, they're going to have to actually start putting some effort in showing these kids some love, so that they can get an idea what this family environment's all about, man.
I agree. Dave, I think you want to get our ad read in as we transition halfway through the show.
Let's do it, man. Let's get into the ad read.
Good old ad read, everybody, from our wonderful sponsors over at Taco Bell. Listen, guys, okay, I get it. Some of you guys in the chat have not been the greatest when it comes to your thoughts on Taco Bell. Okay, I get it. Here's the thing. Taco Bell has been a committed sponsor all season. We just got blown out 2 weeks in a row. And guess what Taco Bell did? They went and donated $500,000 to the Crawford Hole Student Athlete Scholarship Program at the University of Colorado. That's on top of the touchdown scholarships money that they've been doing. Absolutely massive. Taco Bell has been a fantastic sponsor. They love this team with all their hearts, guys. That's why they did the Buff Box program. Okay. It's why they're donating money to this program. They believe in it and they want it to succeed. They are tried and true alumni that are attached to this. They did something with a risk, because you've got Air Force and CSU people that are not happy that the Taco Bells in their backyards are giving out Buff Boxes. Like, Taco Bell has been an absolutely wonderful sponsor for our channel, for many other channels out there, giving us small creators a chance this season and supporting the Buffs through and through. So make sure you guys go get your Buff Boxes at your Colorado Taco Bells. I absolutely love, by the way, seeing everybody will tweet me, will email me, whatever it is, when they come to a CU Buffs game, go and get their Buff Box. They say that it was, great. It's a great money value. I mean, that's the huge thing. That's an amazing thing. And 5280 Ivan, it's not in stock. I had heard from them that they are running out of stock of Buff Box stuff. So if you get to a Taco Bell and they still have it, get it quick.
DM me on Twitter, dude. Come on, man. I'll send you out some of my cups. If you want them that bad, come on, Ivan.
Yeah. I'll probably do that too at the end of the season. So, I mean, if people want some of these cups and we get to that point, we might have to send that out. And of course, if you join me on Mondays, you got a chance to win one of the Taco Bell t-shirts that Dave and I have sported from time to time. And there is a Julian Lewis one. So you have a chance to get a Julian Lewis t-shirt to be able to support the Buffs. So we appreciate Taco Bell. We love the Buff Box. Live Moss, Sco Buffs as always.
Thank you, Taco Bell. You've been a bright spot, a very bright spot in what has been a season, man. So, thank you. A few other recruiting notes and things for us to talk about. All right, Alexander Ward. Let's start with the positive. Alexander Ward committing. Thoughts on that whole thing? That was a huge surprise, and a time when I really think we needed some good news.
The timing was a surprise, but I honestly called this as soon as Christian Ward committed. Again, David, that family atmosphere, the amount of brothers that we've had playing on our team, I had a feeling that was happening. The day that he decommitted from Alabama, I was live when it got announced, and I immediately said on that live, he's coming to Colorado. And there was a bunch of people that said, nope, he's not coming to Colorado. Nope, it's way too early, all this stuff. They're still mad because he's a 2027 commit. However, Everything I've heard is that he's trying to reclassify to 2026. It helps being at IMG, if we're being honest, Dave, because they can take specialty courses to graduate early if they need to. I have a feeling he's going to try and do that so that he can go to join his brother. And what did I say, Dave? I said playmakers, high-level playmakers, Prime has no problem getting them to commit. Okay. It's some of the other positions that we got to work on. And Alex wants to be a two-way player. I think his best position right now is DB, which for the love of God, Dave, thank the Lord above, we have a DB like commit. It just seems like we don't get very many of those anymore. Like TJ Branch last cycle. And then now,
TJ's probably gone, right?
Ward, we don't know. We don't know. I'm hoping it's just a red shirt and, that's all it is. But, that's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at. And unfortunately, Prime can recruit the playmakers. We got a problem with the trenches, Dave. We got a problem with the trenches. Go ahead and bring it up. Let's go to the downer.
Yeah, we had Emmanuel Ruffin. Was it today or yesterday? Yeah.
It was the same time as Alex Ward committing. Like it was within the same hour.
Yeah, dude. Going to Mizzou. And, I don't normally follow these players even after they commit. I still don't follow a lot of players on Twitter, man. I just put my thoughts out there and then, and I just see what happens. All the dummies responding to my tweets, whatever. But yeah, I guess Ruffin's kind of been inactive ever since he committed to CU. So this wasn't really much of a surprise. That's my gauge.
No, I said that this one was coming as well. When people were talking about it, because he was going on other visits, but he was silent when it came to the Buffs. It was also a weird commitment, Dave. Like he went on a visit one weekend, 2 days later he commits in the fall. Like after us really not, it was a surprise. It was a shock that he committed to us in the first place. I was very surprised. I didn't know where that came from. And so then for him to go completely silent, the rest of the commits right now, I mean, they're constantly tweeting out CU stuff. They're tweeting out at other players to commit and join them and, recruiting. And I'm locked in. Like Preston Ashley, by the way, is going to be Mr. Buff by the time, he gets to school with how much he is just like locked in on this team. And I absolutely love seeing that from him, some more secondary, but yeah, it sucks. It sucks. He was our highest rated recruit for the class. I was excited to see what he was able to bring if he came here. But Dave, I also wonder this, and you tell me if I'm reading into this too much. Could it be a sign of some of the coaches heading out and not going to be here moving forward in this team?
Dude, I pray to God that's the case, because again, we need a new philosophy with recruiting alongside the coaching, dude. And again, if Prime isn't going to be full-time hitting the road, which I just don't realistically think that's going to happen, even though I just see him spend a little bit more time doing it, you need all your assistants and your coordinators. Right now, man, our coordinators don't travel, man. Probably more position coaches don't hit the recruiting trail hard than do. So, yeah, is Warren Sapp and Domata Peko like if you guys got information to correct me, I'll gladly correct myself, but I don't think that they're necessarily hitting the recruiting trail hard. And again, everybody's acting like they're Deion Sanders, man, on this staff, and there's only one who can close that. We got no D lineman, man. That has to change.
The problem is, Sapp doesn't go. Peko has. They did announce that, like he was in California. Shurmur's. There's been pictures of him at schools. Livingston has been pictured at schools, but the people who haven't, Warren Sapp, nope, has not hit the recruiting trail. Marshall Falk yet, I don't think has walked into a school and recruited a kid just yet. If we're going to get these Hall of Famers, why are we not putting them into schools to visit these kids and close these deals? Like, I don't get that. Then don't hire the Hall of Famers if they don't want to do that. That's part of being on staff. That's part of being a part of this process. Why are we agreeing to these guys coming on staff with the knowledge that they're not going to do the full gamut of their job? Like, that's what's frustrating. That's what's frustrating to me.
Also, man, like I think I saw a comment. It's a lot of their first year or coaches. I mean, I guess, but I don't.
It's
Again, I
not
just
hard to know what you do. You go visit. Like
yeah,
you
dude.
go to these schools and visit the guys you want for your position rooms.
Dude, I don't know. That's good to know that you've seen both Shurmur and Livingston on the
I've seen
recruiting
the
trail.
pictures before of them
So
with kids in a
I
high
will take
school.
that back. What I will say though, they ain't doing enough. They ain't doing enough. We need some people in here to do more, man. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, man, this whole thing's treated like a country club. I think we'll probably end up 3-9 or 4-8, something like that. There needs to be more of an urgency with this staff. I think it's very clear now after 3 years, you can't get a bunch of great players year after year just sitting back and saying, you know what, come to me, come to me, come to me. I'm just going to repeat that. It's and you might say, well, Dave, you went 9-4, 9-4 last year, dude. You understand? Shedeur Sanders, Shiloh. I mean, Coach Prime has spent so much time with those guys because they're his sons, right? Travis, I think, is kind of an exception for how often they were in contact in his recruitment. And you had some elite players that still made this very flawed roster. I mean, just ball out last year, man.
And I love Donovan's comment here. Like, that's the biggest thing that people need to realize when it comes to us fans. Like, we want high expectations of this. I truly do. And it's what Matt said in my interview with him, Dave.
Where's Donovan's comment? I want to pull this up.
A little bit up, 748. Above Matt Perry and say nah. It's towards the bottom. I mean, it's not that.
Oh, here we go. Thank you.
Yeah. You know, and Matt was pulling his hair because he sees the potential. He truly believes in Coach Prime and what he can do here, but he's got to make the right decisions. Okay. So that's a huge, massive thing, guys. Like, we've got to be able to make those right decisions because we're so close. And I think that's why Matt's frustrated. That's why you and I are frustrated. That's why other people that are, part of fandom online are frustrated, is because we see the potential that is there and how close they are. Like, it sounds crazy. It's like we're really far away, but we're also really close. But it's going to take some big decisions to close that gap really quickly.
And how about some effort? How about just freaking trying? How about trying? And I'll say this, man, like, again, you go back, I keep all my videos up. Go back and look at it, man. When Prime first came over here, I was like, man, there might only be like 2-3 players good enough to play for this program, right? Because I thought we were going to be reeling in recruits on like a top 20, high school rating every single year. It's just not been the case. And again, we've seen a lot of 3, 4, 5 win football over the last 10 years or whatever. There needs to be just a change in strategy. And I think, again, all of this has kind of come to light to where now we have enough to say, you know what, you need to change what you're doing a little bit. That's all.
It's adjustments. Like I keep saying every week, I still believe that Prime is still early in his coaching career. Like 3 years Power 4, 2 years at the, HBCU level. There's a lot of coaches out there that spent a lot of time coaching. And so I think that this needs to be a lesson. It needs to be a lesson that it doesn't work at this level. It doesn't work at this level. We need to make some changes, bring in some people who are highly skilled, at their craft in the college game. Let them cook, let them do their job, and see what happens. And use Prime as, the ability to close on some of the bigger name guys and to bring the fanfare and to bring the endorsements and the money that those kids need to stay here and all the other stuff. Like, it's there to be successful. And it starts with Coach Prime. That's why, again, none of us are saying that Coach Prime shouldn't be here. None of us should be saying that we want Coach Prime gone. We absolutely believe in Coach Prime and everything, he stands for. But we need to see the action associated with what he stands
and
for.
again, we need to see urgency from the staff. You're right, Uncle Steve. Coach was fighting for his life, and I have the audacity to say that they're running a country. Absolutely. What the hell happened while he was gone? Look at the product that we have put out.
And that's not Coach Prime's fault.
Fighting for his life.
That's my point.
He needs to get new staff members, man. These are his friends. And some of these friends just aren't good enough to do their job. Some of them are taking advantage of the situation.
That's honestly
how
what
I
I
feel
could
about
say.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Unc Steve. It has been more like a country club out there. It absolutely has.
That's not Coach
with the product of the team this year.
Yeah, that's not you saying that Coach Prime, by fighting for his life, was like literally. It's like I said earlier. The coaching staff let down Coach Prime. The coaching staff let down the guy who gave him a job, who gave him a chance, who gave them a chance, who got them paid. Like those guys are letting Coach Prime down by not being the best that they can possibly be. And that's where that comment comes from.
Yeah. We got a super chat here from Antonio McKinney. I'll let you answer these first, Russ. 2 questions for you. Matt says he represents most of his kids in the dungeon. How much does he get from those kids NIL? Second, if you guys know how much. Second, if you guys know so much, why didn't you apply to be the head? You really spent $10 to tell it? Thank you. What a waste of money. What a waste of money. But thank you for being here, McKinney.
I mean, I'll tell you that first one.
Are you from planet Earth right now? Do you understand like how podcasts work, YouTube, all that sorts of stuff? Holy shit. All right, sorry.
I would love to see him like call in to like the Fan or Altitude Sports Radio or any sports radio station in the country where 90% of the staff there do not play sports and just talk sports. And that's like the whole thing. It's literally been a market for what, Dave? Decades? Like we just moved from the radio to YouTube and now we get to do this. And yet we have an audience. I mean, to answer his first question, you know what Matt does? Matt provides a service to these kids. He trains them from the time they're in middle school all the way through high school. They pay a pretty penny to train with Matt. And Matt's promise to them is, if you work your butt off and you go through the program, I will do my best to get you to the highest level of football possible. Okay? And he doesn't necessarily represent them. They get agents, guys. There's still agents involved with NIL for every kid.
But I think Matt is an official agent for some of these players.
Some of them, I'm sure. Right. Yeah, he has ties to him, and he takes on a little bit bigger of a role because those players have decided to do that. But,
I will say, in the NFL, again, there's a collective bargaining agreement, all that sorts of stuff. I think the most an agent can take is like
10%,
3.5%, something like that. It's way down from 10%.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Like
3%
when we were younger. But obviously there's not any sort of collective bargaining in college, so it might be a slightly larger percentage. But I doubt it's anything like 20, 30, 40%, anything like that. I would even still be shocked if it's 10% just based on what happens.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So, and it's a percentage, but yeah.
And that's the key, though. Not every kid makes it through Matt's program. Like he puts it on them. Like his programs are not easy. People have like tweeted out his videos of his training and like said how terrible it is, all that. It's not the point. He's trying to get nasty trench players and get them to a position. If you get through his program, he may not be able to get you to Bama because maybe you're just not good enough, but you work your butt off, he'll get you to another great program. And he talked about it. He's got a bunch of guys at like CSU Pueblo that are ready to go to the next level. He's got guys at Fort Lewis and Durango. He's got guys all over the state in, Division II schools that are now ready to jump to the next level because he got them a spot there. And they went out, balled out at that level, and are now looking to transfer into Division I schools. So that's just what he does.
Yeah. Man, I think it's so funny, man. You see, like, again, some people take this stuff so much more personally than Coach Prime even takes it, man. I got one more vendetta I got to get off for us here. And then we can get back to, Colorado, West Virginia, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, David, you want to have a channel if it wasn't for Coach Prime. Again,
I know that.
I started this channel because of the excitement of Coach Prime being here. And I wanted there to be more voices for graduates of the university, man, and all the new fans to come in. Yeah, I never thought my channel would have grown to where it's at. You're welcome to tell everybody to unsubscribe, man. I do not care about the amount of followers that I have, man. So tell your friends, man, unsubscribe. You don't have to watch this, man. So I do it for fun. And I also have a Broncos channel, and Coach Prime doesn't coach over there either. So yeah, I guess I never would have started a Colorado channel if I never went to Colorado either. So there we go. Russ, any other thoughts, man?
I had one more super chat. It looks like Jordan Williams.
Oh, we got another Jordan Williams.
Yes, he's got another one in there. I know. Jordan's a good guy.
Jordan, man, we don't like to talk about other YouTube channels on here. Come on.
And he wasn't putting out narratives like he pointed it out. So this is what I don't get, David. This is what I don't get about this. Not Jordan, but this being brought up. This was literally, we talked about this.
Yeah.
What, week 2 or 3 when it happened? But because he puts it out there in the world all week long, and other people pick it up because maybe they weren't paying attention at the time, like it's all of a sudden new news. Like we literally said that week 2 because you and I were talking about in our games against Georgia Tech and all that, the receivers can't block. They get asked about it, and then Phillips said that, and we immediately jumped on it. Like, what the hell do you mean you don't practice blocking? Like it's an attitude. Like that. It's crazy.
This is what I'll say, man. Is Coach Phillips on my number 1 hot seat right now? No, he ain't there. But I'll tell you right now, I will fully support if they move on and get a new receivers coach in here. So yeah, I'll agree with some of the other YouTubers and Instagrammers on this thing. I don't know. Right now I don't feel like anybody on the staff should feel that they're safe. Nobody. Again, people want to say we should be grateful. I am grateful, man. Prime has changed the structure, the excitement level for this program for the rest of eternity. With how CU football is. You guys realize we didn't go 1-11 every single year, right? This is normally what we have watched throughout our existence as Colorado fans right now. 4-win teams, 5-win teams.
But we had no upside, Dave. We had no upside. There was no Julian Lewis in the wings. We didn't ever have a 5-star quarterback.
The standard's higher than this, man. The standard's higher than this bull junk that we're getting right now.
It's been raised because of Prime. Like that's what people should be realizing. It is being raised because of Prime. That's what he wants. Coach Prime wants the expectations high because of what he brings. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah, dude. I don't understand why people take this so personally, man. When again, the product right now is, a 3-win football team, 3-6, man. So let's transition to the battle of the 3-6 football teams, man. This is honestly very, very exciting.
It is. I haven't been this excited for a game since Georgia Tech.
Okay. Well, hey, give me your thoughts on it, what you think about West Virginia, and then I'll chime in.
Well, and mind you, I'm not saying that because I'm like, oh, we're gonna win. This is gonna be great. I'm excited for the Julian Lewis era to start. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see the little things. It's not gonna be easy, Dave. It's not gonna be easy. So a couple things that we need to point out that is scary and possibly why this is not going to be an easy victory for Colorado if they win. West Virginia's offense is run heavy. Okay. They rush the ball 61% of the time, which ranks 10th in the nation. Not good. We know what that means for our team, Dave. We know what that means for our defense. Probably going to give up 250, 300 yards rushing in this game. And we'll have to win despite that, if I'm being honest. That's just the way it is. Mm-hmm. They've got a freshman quarterback starting. We've got a freshman quarterback starting. But again, they're going to look to run. We're probably going to look to pass. With Julian Lewis at the helm, guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we move away from the run, which is probably a bad move. It's a bad move. I mean, if I was being honest, we should be running the ball 60% of the time on Saturday to help Julian Lewis, and to build around the run game and allow him to then throw the ball. It's going to be very, very difficult. Like I said, I'm just looking for small wins in this game, small wins within it. I'm excited to just see the little things that Julian Lewis can do. Okay. It's not going to be perfect. It's probably not going to be pretty. If it's pretty, I'm going to go nuts. I will go absolutely nuts. But I'm going to set my expectations where I think they should be. And that is that it's going to be, Buster's Weekly with David is there. The only reason why I subscribe. Well, I appreciate you, Matt Perry Thomas.
Dude. Yes. Steroids, dude. All right. Sorry.
Just
my
juice
ADHD.
it. Let's juice it. No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. Dave, what do you think? What do you think about this matchup? How are you feeling on the weekend?
Dude, I love this matchup. I think, man, at this point, I just want to be entertained. And I think that both of these teams, I mean, this isn't Brayton. Both of these teams suck, man. So I think that this is going to be an awesome, hopefully high scoring game. No doubt about it. Now, there are some things that I want to point out with Houston or with West Virginia as a whole. Obviously, they beat the number 22 team last week, Houston, in their backyard. They generated 4 turnovers from Houston. We'll see. Hey, maybe they've started to turn a corner now, playing with a ton of confidence at home. That is scary. But when you're looking at the totality of the season, their defense is actually just as horrible as ours. They're giving up 30.4 points a game. We're at 30.1. They're giving up 255 yards passing. We're giving up 210. They're giving up 151 yards on the ground. We're giving up 216, basically. It's horrible. So I mean, I would love to see a balanced offense. I think that it's that's probably what should be the game plan. Again, right now, you can't really trust anybody on this staff to do what makes sense offensively. So I would imagine as well, we're going to throw this thing around, and probably it's going to be more of a Julian Lewis showcase, right? You want to try and create excitement for recruits, for them to see the product on the field, to be an exciting offense, all those sorts of things. That might, I don't know, that might give us a better chance to win. It still might give us a better chance to win than, what we've been rolling out the past few weeks, but get him a lot of reps, man. That's kind of how I see it. Give him a lot of reps, have him see a lot of different looks, put him in a lot of different situations, and just see where he thrives, see where he needs development at, man. I think that, my eyes are on him, man, to go and show out. I think he can play well. It's going to be up and down, and I just I want to see some scoring drives. I want to see a few touchdown drives from him at the very least. And yeah, but I'll be honest, man, with how our defense is, it's more about this defense being Swiss cheese, being hurt. This is why you use 85 scholarships and your full 100, spots, so that you can have other guys come in if all your guys are hurt or other guys are jumping in the portal. What do we even have a defensive line ready for this week? I don't know if we'll be able to stop this West Virginia offense.
That's for sure. I mean, we're going to have to match them blow for blow if we want to be in this game and have a chance to win. I'm hoping that Juju can do it. I'm hoping that he can bring, I know it was high school ball. A lot of people will talk about it though. Georgia high school ball is not for the faint of heart. And Julian Lewis balled out, matching or beating records made by quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson. The kid can ball. And so I hope, Dave, that we see enough. I hope we see enough. I think this is the key. Somebody else said, Bartolone called the game against Arizona and it was terrible. The difference was he had to scheme and call that game for Caden Salter at quarterback.
Yeah.
He can now scheme for a week knowing that Julian Lewis is his quarterback. He can get reps for Julian Lewis as his quarterback. They can work on individual plays. And I guarantee you guys the difference. Julian Lewis knows ball. I guarantee you that he is talking to Brett Bartolone about plays he likes, what he wants to see, probably even giving input, Dave, on things that he would like to change or do. I mean, he's that smart. And I feel like that's going to be advantageous to who Julian Lewis is. It's why he is the prodigy that he is made out to be. Now, can we just see it happen? Can we just see it happen?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just want to see a show. I want to see a show. I'm not picking against the Buffs right now because of Julian Lewis, man. If anything, if we win this game, it's got to be because of Julian. But man, this defense is absolutely cooked. We're averaging giving up 215 rushing yards, man. I got to see it before I believe it. Before I'm going to pick this team to keep their bowl hopes alive, man. This defense is just cooked. But one thing that could change with Julian Lewis being in there is maybe just guys coming together and playing for something greater than themselves, man. Less me ball, more team ball, right? Maybe we can see that.
I need the young guys. Put the young guys in there that came in with Julian Lewis. Show anybody out there what the future of Colorado football looks like and that it wasn't the last 2 weeks. Get Quinnell Farrakhan some balls. Get Quentin Gibson some balls. With Julian Lewis. Get the tight end involved. Heck, Dave, maybe, throw out Corbin Lazier or one of the young freshman tight ends a little bit.
D'Souza, baby, Corbin Lazier, dude, all of them, man.
One of those guys out there. Give him some reps to show what Juju does with the tight end at high school and how much he loves it. I've heard so many people in the comments already saying, oh, they're going to blitz and Juju's not going to have time and it's going to be bad. Like, guys, he knows how to deal with that. Like, he dealt with that for a long time. He knows how to throw on time. He knows how to throw accurate. He knows how to read the game. That's the biggest difference between him and Caden Salter that we're going to see. Yeah, Caden Salter has the ability to run, and he is a dual threat quarterback, as people would say. But I think Julian Lewis is going to be just fine. He's going to have some growing pains, but guys, he's going to figure it out. He's going to figure it out. He's going to look pretty good. Do the Buffs get a win just on pretty good? I'm hard to say that they do, Dave. I'm hard to say they do. We need to see like Super Saiyan Prodigy Juju just explode these next 3 games if we want to make a bowl game. Yeah. So again, I don't know if that's going to happen. I just want, like you said, I want to see good football and I want to be excited again for Colorado's future and Colorado football.
Yeah, I want to see effort, man. Like, again, I think that this would not be announced, obviously, by Coach Prime. It's not how he operates, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's guys been dismissed from the team. You're just trying to get any of those negative Nancys out there and out of here. Put in guys, dude, that care, that want to be on the field. I don't want to see this team quit and give up. And again, I think probably putting a promising quarterback in there with a future, hopefully that can kind of spark something for the team. If the fight song won't, no, I'm just playing. We're not going there. We're not going there. We're not doing that. But yeah, man, like I think I'm going to do a live stream of this game, man, a live reaction to it. We'll see how it all goes. But yeah, Julian can hit a check down. You guys are saying this in the comments, Julian can hit a check down. We got the tight ends coach now calling the offense. Surely we can see some more tight ends involved in this, especially because Julian has the ability to see that part of the field.
Bingo. That is the biggest problem. Salter's reading of the game. He only does one read and throws it. And for people who are like, well, that's Shurmur's scheme. I mean, Shedeur did just fine, going and reading the defense and reading one route, 2 routes, 3 routes. Are the routes great? No. Is the scheme overall not great? Yeah, it's not great. But you can make up for it a little bit with your ability to see the field and read the play. And that just wasn't Salter's ability and his strength. It just wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta find my Taco Bell shirt. I think it's in the laundry right now for Julian Lewis, but I'll make sure that that's on for.
We're all gonna wear the Julian Lewis stuff on Saturday, guys.
Dude,
It's
I can't
all
wait. And yeah, your
Juju day.
mom's fave is right. Zach Atkins was, he had a few catches. I saw LeJour out there. I don't think he got any targets, but I did see him out there. So, yeah, let's see what Brett Bartolone can cook up. Yeah, with the tight ends this week with Julian Lewis, man, I just I can't wait. So, dude, I got to be honest, I don't even have a score prediction. But it's probably going to be like, I'll give you one right now. West Virginia, probably 40 points with this defense. CU, I'll go with 27.
Not bad. Yeah, I was probably going to go West Virginia 34, Colorado 21 is what I'll throw out there. I think 21 is doable for Colorado. I think Juju can get into the end zone 3 times. But yeah, the defense against this team and a even more hurt defense, Dave, this week against, well, we actually haven't gotten the injury report. I forgot to even refresh, my Twitter feed to see.
Is it up? It's usually around this time.
It's usually right around. Yep, it is. Bingo. Oh, I love this timing. Okay, guys.
Up here really quick.
Yep. Brian Howell has it.
Okay, thank you.
Whoa!
Don't tell me Julian Lewis is out.
No. I don't know. It's good and bad. It's good and bad. We might need to, Dave, you might need to pull up last week's, because I think there might be some guys that are either not on the team anymore or redshirting because the out list shrank severely.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. Let me hide these comments here. Put it on the screen. I'm just slow, Lamar. Dang it. Okay, here's
get on him, Lamar.
Right now.
Uh-oh.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Okay, so out. Hakeem Williams, Makari, Vickers. I'll try and zoom in a little bit. Amari McNeil is out. Man, that sucks. Christian Hudson out. That blows. Out the first half. That's right. We're down
Tafik Bayard.
That lame targeting call, man. Oh, my God, dude. I even forgot about that. Yeah, we're not winning this game, dude. He's only playing one half. Doubtful, Simeon Price. Questionable, RJ Johnson, DJ McKinney, and Larry Johnson. Jordan Seaton. Shoot, man. Ooh. If he's questionable, I'm gonna say he plays. Right?
I'm gonna hope. We'll see tomorrow if they change. They always update pretty quickly from questionable to doubtful or probable. The probable list, Xavier Hill looking like he should be back. That's good. But with let's see. So if we have Xavier Hill, Seaton,
so Marion and Joseph, they're just probable because they've still been showing up on time, but you still don't know yet. If they're.
I don't know. No, I don't know that. I mean, they're practicing. They were practicing today, so I don't know why they're probable unless they got hurt during practice today. But yeah, I mean, interesting there. And then on the West Virginia side, I mean, it's more than usual. I mean, look at their out list. Is that the first time that a team has had more out players than us? It feels like.
Yeah, but I don't know like how many of these guys played for them last week. Let me see right now. I mean two running backs. Those running backs didn't play last week when they ran for 246 on Houston. Good
God.
Lord. Quarterbacks out. Yeah, questionable. Clay Ash and Tyler. Clay Ash played. He had 14 of those 246 rushing yards. So I don't know about these offensive linemen, the safeties, whatever, the defensive players, but
yeah, basically
they're big playmakers. All of them are left off of this injury report.
Dave, would you mind pulling up last week's injury report?
Yeah,
because I'm very interested to see with that out list if perhaps there might be some more players that are no longer with the program that we could potentially look at.
Sleuthing. All right, give me a second.
Because I don't think you go from out to not even being on the report the next week. How do you go from out to being completely 100% healthy?
Yeah, we're about to find out.
I mean, a lot of the probable guys are full of guys that were out, but how many are missing altogether? Because that out.
Right. I wish I could do a split here. So this was the out. You Russ, tell me who's not on the report this week. These guys were out last week. Hakeem Williams, Vickers, Price, Hill, Walker Anderson, Amari McNeil, Tafik Thomas, Christian Hudson, Alexander McPherson. But I would assume that just means they're healthy, right?
I mean, I would hope they're healthy. We'll have to see if Alex McPherson is playing come Saturday.
Okay, that'll be something to keep an eye on. Yeah, because if he's not out there, dude, that's bad news, man. We at least put effort into IMG.
Here's the thing. I again, talking to Alex McPherson's dad, I don't think he's going anywhere, no matter what is going on. Like, that guy is Colorado through and through.
Yeah, shout out to Yo-Yo, dude. Coming out playing there with a freaking cast, dude.
I don't know. I don't understand. People they need to realize that was an impossible task for him to do last week.
No, dude. And
you
again,
cannot
we should
block.
have more depth. We should have 85 scholarships filled up so we don't have that.
Fill it up, guys. Fill it up. Fill it up.
Yeah, we had Tafik Bayard out there. Did BDS also have? Did he have a club on? I can't remember.
Half the team is wearing a damn club at this point. Tafik Bayard wearing the club, getting the interception against Iowa State. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, man. Anyways, I guess we'll see how it goes, man. But again, this is a West Virginia team on the road. I thought, man, this was an easy chalk victory before the season. But boy, are we wrong on that heading into
it has changed. The winds have changed, Dave.
Dude, we gotta get steroids, man. I mean, really, this is what none of the state sponsored shows will tell you, is that we need more performance enhancing drugs in this. You know, have you watched the cocaine quarterback? I think that's what it's called on Amazon. This backup quarterback for USC that walked on, and he was just getting everybody HGH and steroids during their 2003, 2004, 2005 natty runs, baby. Like, we don't have anybody right now, to my knowledge, that's doing that.
Yep.
We play like a team that's not on steroids right now.
I mean, there's something going on, like, goodness me. And I really want to know how many of these injuries too are actual injuries. You know, the more I think about it, Dave, like, Tafik Bayard has barely missed any time, and the guy's playing with a darn club on his hand, and all these guys are just gone constantly. I mean, how many are true injuries? You know, because Prime calls that out a lot too. I truly wonder.
Yeah. I don't know, man, but Coach Prime doesn't even need to know about the PED program, man. He doesn't even know about it, dude. This is what I'm talking about, leadership in the locker room.
Oh, that's funny. That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. You think Nick Saban knew the salaries of everybody getting paid at Alabama? No, man. He just says, talk to this booster or whatever, yada, yada, it's taken care of, man. Doesn't need to know the details. So,
yep.
Russ, I'm out of thoughts, man. But it's been a weird week, but I'm really, really excited to see this game, and I just want to see this team come out and play with good effort, man. Even if we don't get the win, you can still play in a way that makes you proud to watch it as a fan.
Yeah, that's my point, guys. Take the little wins on Saturday. Take the little things. Also, guys, just know that, like, we're going to have a different offense next year. It's happening. We're going to have a different OC. I've started to compile a list of potential OC candidates just based on random things. Who knows? I don't have any information, but guys who are at lower levels that might be looking to go up, people who are connected to Colorado. There are some coaches out there that have made their way up that maybe were prior on Colorado staff at one point that could be a good fit as well. There's a lot of interesting choices out there. It'll be very interesting to see what Coach Prime does with this job search. I'm being serious. I'm very interested to see what happens. I mean, this is the same as when he went looking for Robert Livingston, and we went through a list of all the people it could have been, and the rumors swirled, and then out of nowhere we got Robert Livingston.
And they're not going to announce it until the last minute possible.
Oh, it's literally
drive me insane.
It's literally going to be a well-off video where there's going to be a new coach in the building. Like I am getting tired of that. Like, start announcing this stuff. Like, stop with this secrecy stuff. That's an NFL thing. It doesn't matter here at this level.
I'm fine with the secrecy when you win, not when you got 3 wins.
True. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see, but I'm excited for this game, no matter what anybody says.
Dude, that's right, man, dude. I'm just.
Dave has one philosophy and one philosophy only.
Clear the cream, everything, man. Just that's what I'm gonna do.
Some shark steroids, some bull,
and we won't hear
testosterone.
We won't hear once about the turf causing these injuries, man, because we're all gonna be healthy, man.
We're gonna run right through the turf.
Yeah, we're gonna be recovering like that, So
yeah.
All right, Russ.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna wrap this thing up, but man, thank you for making my day. I'm much happier than when we started, which is great. And shout out to everybody who supports the channel, and your channel, Russ. And I mean, shout out to everybody that says we have these channels, because of y'all. I don't even understand it, dude. It's your fault. It's your fault you follow us. It's your fault we got followers, dude. Like. This is all the followers to blame, us being platformed. It's all y'all's fault. But thank you guys for supporting, whether you come into meme or you're genuine about it, man. It's all fun. But Russ, let us know what you got going on your channel.
Yep. We'll do a Friday lunch stream. We'll talk about a little bit of West Virginia. Talk a little bit about West Virginia game. Assume we'll at minimum do a post-game show on Saturday. We'll see how everything goes that day. But if you can't get clicks and views with old school style announcements,
true, man, I gotta play the game. All right.
It's true. No, that's true. So yeah, we'll see what happens on Saturday, what we want to do. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Let's hope it's a good game.
Dude, let's go. Yeah, fire Coach Hart, fire Coach Mathis. Those are my top 2 right now. I'm going to do the stream on Saturday, and then Russ, you and I will be doing the post game. So it will be a lot of fun, man. And you're welcome to hop on stream with me, but we would need to figure out the time.
Yes, I'll time it. I'll be behind you, Dave. I don't care. I'll make sure I'm behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can do a better play-by-play with another person around. I'll have to see. People
I can be your color guy and just make things up. Okay, I can be your color guy and just make things up since I'm not a color guy because I don't have the background to be a color guy. But hey, people want to be here for it. That's how we're going to entertain people against West Virginia, right there.
Yeah, Shurmur wasn't the problem. That's because Shurmur is a living problem. I don't know, man. I'm trying to be funny with it. He's absolutely the problem, man. Yeah, man. They'll not do it, dude. I gotta ask you, Russ, what's gonna happen, dude, if all of Coach Prime's friends that we want fired, if they all stick around this year, man? What's this offseason gonna be like, man? Are we gonna have to convince ourselves that this is the year that it just turns around regardless?
I don't think anything good happens. I think that's right. I mean, we're not probably going to get a good OC to come in. We'll probably get some random person that just wants a shot. That the only reason he's coming is because he can't bring a staff or can't bring other guys to join him, at least a few guys. And we're probably going to lose out on some recruits. So we're just going to have to live with it, Dave. We're going to have to live with it happens. And just continue supporting this team until our death.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, Maniac. Why were you timed out? Because I saw a few of your comments, and I got to be honest, man, they're dumb as hell. So sometimes I put people in timeout if I don't like what you're saying, and that's saying a lot for the comments I allow to stay in this chat. Like,
it takes. I will say, Dave, for the first time ever, I banned 2 people during the Matt interview. You know, you want to use curse words, you want to curse out people in the chat, you want to curse out me or Matt, you want to throw out, you know, words that you shouldn't be throwing out, that'll get you banned. Otherwise, I'll let you guys go. And as several of the guys know in my chat, I let you guys go. Okay, I do. But if you truly want to be banned, there's a way to do it. You just got to be an absolute jerk about it, and sure, you'll get banned.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But opinions are fine.
Having different opinions, man. You know, just don't sound dumb when you're sharing them. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I could go longer, but I got some other work I need to take care of, man, with this Nuggets game. Buddy, the Nuggets channel, I don't know when it's happening. It eventually will. Y'all have a wonderful night. We'll see you later. Sko Buffs.
Sko Buffs.